what if some of the memory slips, mental fog, or slower thinking you notice after 40 aren't just normal aging, but signals your brain is missing key nutrients it relies on every day? Here's the surprising part. Research suggests certain everyday foods may help protect brain cells, support memory, and slow age-related decline without supplements or extreme diets. Today, we'll look at what science actually says about food and brain aging, and why a few small choices may matter more than you think. As we get older, changes in the brain don't happen overnight. They build slowly, often starting in midlife, affecting focus, recall, and mental stamina long before anything feels serious. That's why what you do in your 40s and 50s matters more than most people realize. This video isn't about reversing disease or making medical promises. It's about supporting your brain's natural aging process using everyday foods backed by nutrition and neuroscience research. The insights you'll hear are drawn from well-established studies and expert guidance from organizations like the NIH, Harvard, and Mayo Clinic. Everything we'll discuss is practical, safe for most people, and designed to fit into real life. No fads, no fear, just evidence-based guidance. Food number 1. Fatty fish. Salmon, sardines. Fatty fish often tops the list when researchers talk about brain health, and for good reason. Fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly DHA and EPA. DHA is especially important because it's a major structural component of brain cell membranes. In simple terms, your brain literally uses it to maintain healthy communication between neurons. As we age, brain levels of DHA naturally decline. Studies suggest that lower DHA levels are linked with faster cognitive aging and memory problems. Research referenced by the National Institutes of Health and Harvard Health shows that people who regularly consume omega-3 rich fish tend to have better memory performance and slower age-related brain shrinkage compared to those who rarely eat fish. This doesn't require large amounts. Most expert guidelines suggest 1 to 2 servings of fatty fish per week. For people who don't eat fish, it's important to be cautious with supplements and ideally discuss alternatives with a healthcare professional, since food sources appear to provide the most consistent benefits in research. Food number 2. Blueberries. Blueberries may be small, but they're one of the most studied fruits when it comes to brain health and aging. Their deep blue color comes from compounds called anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that help protect brain cells from oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is one of the processes researchers believe contributes to age-related cognitive decline, especially in areas linked to memory and learning. Research cited by sources like Healthline and Harvard Health, including studies published in journals such as Annals of Neurology, suggests that regular blueberry consumption is associated with slower cognitive aging. Some studies have also found improvements in memory and executive function in older adults who consumed blueberries consistently over time, not as a one-time fix, but as part of a regular diet. What's important here is consistency, not quantity. A small daily serving, fresh or frozen, appears to be enough to provide benefits. Blueberries are easy to add to oatmeal, yogurt, or smoothies, making them a practical option for long-term brain support without drastic dietary changes. Food number 3. Leafy greens. Spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. Leafy green vegetables like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are strongly linked to slower cognitive decline as we age. These vegetables are rich in nutrients that support brain function, including vitamin K, folate, lutein, and beta-carotene. Each of these plays a role in protecting brain cells and supporting healthy communication between neurons. One of the most well-known findings comes from long-term studies at Rush University, which observed that adults who regularly ate leafy greens experienced significantly slower rates of cognitive decline compared to those who rarely consumed them. In fact, the difference was equivalent to having a younger brain age over time, according to the researchers' analysis. Leafy greens may help by reducing inflammation and oxidative damage in the brain, both of which tend to increase with age. The good news is that benefits were seen with as little as 1 serving per day. You don't need large salads or strict diets. Adding spinach to a meal or lightly sautéing greens can be enough to support long-term brain health. Nuts, and walnuts in particular, have a unique nutrient profile that supports brain health as we age.
Walnuts contain a combination of healthy polyunsaturated fats, plant-based omega-3s, vitamin E, and polyphenols. Together, these nutrients help protect brain cells from oxidative stress and support normal cognitive function. Vitamin E is especially important because it acts as an antioxidant in the brain. Research reviewed by the Mayo Clinic and studies indexed on PubMed suggest that higher vitamin E intake from food sources is associated with better cognitive performance in older adults. Walnuts also stand out because their shape closely resembles the brain. A coincidence, but nutritionally they do offer compounds linked to learning and memory. Several observational studies indicate that people who regularly consume nuts tend to perform better on tests of memory and reasoning as they age. The key is moderation. A small handful a day is enough. Nuts are calorie-dense, so portions matter, especially for those managing weight or blood sugar.
Food number 5. Olive oil. Extra virgin. Extra virgin olive oil is one of the most consistently supported foods for brain health in long-term nutrition research. It's a central component of the Mediterranean diet, a dietary pattern repeatedly associated with better cognitive aging and lower risk of memory decline. What makes olive oil unique isn't just its fat content, but the combination of monounsaturated fats and natural polyphenols. These compounds help reduce inflammation and support healthy blood vessels, including those that supply the brain. Good blood flow is essential for delivering oxygen and nutrients to brain cells. Research referenced by the NIH and Harvard Health suggests that people who regularly use extra virgin olive oil tend to show better cognitive performance over time compared to those who rely on refined or highly processed fats. The key detail is quality. Extra virgin olive oil retains more protective compounds than refined versions. Using it as a replacement, drizzling it on vegetables, using it for low-heat cooking, or swapping it for butter or margarine may offer benefits over time. As with all fats, moderation matters, especially for individuals with specific dietary needs.
Food number 6. Eggs. Eggs are an important and often misunderstood food when it comes to brain health. One of their key nutrients is choline, a compound your brain uses to produce acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter involved in memory, learning, and attention. As we age, acetylcholine levels naturally decline, which is one reason memory and focus can feel less sharp over time. Research supported by the National Institutes of Health shows that many adults don't get enough choline from their diets. Eggs are one of the most concentrated and accessible food sources. Observational studies suggest that adequate choline intake is associated with better cognitive performance and may help support brain structure as we age. Eggs also provide high-quality protein, B vitamins, and antioxidants like lutein, which may further support brain function. For most healthy individuals, moderate egg consumption fits well within evidence-based dietary guidelines. However, people with specific cholesterol concerns or medical conditions should follow personalized advice from their healthcare provider rather than general recommendations.
Food number 7. Dark chocolate, 70% plus cocoa. Dark chocolate, when chosen carefully and eaten in moderation, can play a supportive role in brain health. The key is cocoa content. Dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa contains flavanols, natural plant compounds known to support blood vessel function. Healthy blood flow is critical for brain performance because it helps deliver oxygen and nutrients to brain tissue. Studies discussed by Harvard Health and summarized by WebMD suggest that cocoa flavanols may improve cerebral blood flow and are associated with short-term improvements in attention, processing speed, and mental fatigue, particularly in middle-aged and older adults. Some research also links regular flavanol intake with better cognitive performance over time, although results depend heavily on dose and overall diet quality. It's important to keep expectations realistic. Dark chocolate is not a treatment or cure, and more is not better. It also contains calories and small amounts of caffeine. A small square or two a few times a week is enough to potentially gain benefits without offsetting them with excess sugar or calories.
Now, here's where most people unintentionally cancel out the benefits of these foods, and it has nothing to do with willpower or discipline. Research suggests that what you eat alongside these foods may matter just as much as the foods themselves. For example, adding blueberries to a diet high in ultra-processed foods doesn't provide the same protective effect seen in studies. The same goes for olive oil used in meals overloaded with refined sugars or trans fats. This is one of the most overlooked details in brain health research. Many people focus on individual superfoods while ignoring the broader pattern that determines whether those nutrients actually support the brain or get drowned out by chronic inflammation and blood sugar spikes. And here's the surprising part. Studies suggest that one simple dietary shift can dramatically increase how effective these brain-supportive foods are without adding new restrictions or cutting out entire food groups. That insight is coming next, and it's the foundation behind why these foods work in the first place. The most important takeaway is this: brain aging is influenced far more by your overall eating pattern than by any single food. Research consistently shows that diets emphasizing whole, minimally processed foods, especially patterns like the Mediterranean-style diet, are associated with better memory, focus, and slower cognitive decline as we age. This approach works because it reduces chronic inflammation, supports healthy blood flow, and stabilizes blood sugar, all factors closely linked to brain health. The foods we covered are effective because they fit into this larger pattern, not because they work in isolation. This strategy is suitable for most adults over 40, but it's not one size fits all. People with medical conditions, allergies, or specific dietary needs should adjust accordingly and seek professional guidance. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency, small, repeatable choices that support your brain over time. To wrap this up, remember 3 simple things. First, changes in memory and focus after 40 are common, but they're not completely out of your control. Second, foods like fatty fish, berries, leafy greens, nuts, olive oil, eggs, and dark chocolate are supported by research for their role in maintaining brain health as we age. And third, these benefits come from long-term habits, not quick fixes or extreme diets. You don't need to change everything at once. A realistic starting point is choosing just one of these foods and making it a regular part of your week. Over time, those small choices add up. If you found this breakdown helpful, let me know in the comments which food surprised you the most. And if you want more calm, science-backed health content like this, consider subscribing.